Lily Tomlin followed her own rules for 50 years, and powerful people loathed her. When NBC sought to control her, she sued to break her laugh-in contract. She mocked corporations while other stars stayed mute for money. She hid her relationship with Jane Wagner because coming out would kill her career. At 85, she's revealing death threats, blacklisting. Times producers sought to doom her. She's not talking about comedy. Nobody knew she was fighting a war. Miss Tomlin was born in Detroit, Michigan on September 1, 1939. Her parents came from Paducah, Kentucky during the Great Depression for a better life. Guy, her father, worked in a factory. Mother Lily Mae was a nurse's helper. Their Highland Park home on Louise Avenue was modest. The neighborhood was tough, with factory workers and working-class families. Lily was raised on hard work, suffering, and survival. Her parents were Southern Baptists, and she attended church regularly, but her beliefs changed. After her younger brother Richard joined the family, their little Motor City home was complete. Detroit was energetic and changing in the 1940s and 1950s. The war ended. Workers from throughout the nation came to the city. Different accents, stories, and styles flooded the streets. Little Lily started performing in her backyard at 6. She created skits, costumes, and performed with her brother, Richard. These weren't kiddie games. She observed neighbors' behavior, speech, and reactions. From chattering old people to exhausted manufacturing workers, she imagined them. Her awareness of voice, rhythm, and personality was deepened by Detroiters' unique Midwest Southern tones. Her first stage was backyard shows. Cass Technical High School welcomed Lily in 1953. Entering was hard. You needed good grades and tests, not just another school, Cass. A vast, elegant facility with unique labs, workshops, and a performance auditorium. Over 3,600 students, yet Lily stood out. Sharp and curious she was. Cass students had to choose disciplines, like college majors. She experienced organization and attention. She hadn't considered acting as a career, but the discipline she learned there would last a lifetime. The same school produced Diana Ross and Jack White when she graduated in 1957. Lily's childhood performances were unique. She wasn't copycat. The individuals she saw became her: postman, corner shop attendant, loud upstairs neighbor. Her comedy was real. Her brother Richard reluctantly became her sidekick. Their backyard shows attracted kids. Fun turned into practice, where she could develop characters, test voices, and master timing. She was more than funny. She was exact. She paid attention to every detail and made every day magical. Detroit thrived after high school. Factory hiring. While most of her classmates stayed, Lily made preparations. She studied biology at Wayne State. To become a stable, respected doctor was her goal. Those from working-class families did it. Something changed in her second year. She spontaneously auditioned for a school play. Rush, freedom, connection. Every aspect felt right. She switched majors to theater. It was risky, but honest. Her actual adventure began with that decision. Lily performed minor Detroit gigs from 1959 to 1965. She did 5 gigs a night in coffee shops and nightclubs for $15 to $25. She wasn't after quick laughs. Lily narrated tales as other comedians joked. Her comedy was deliberate and layered. She played a teen yelling at her parents. She played nosy neighbors and stressed-out phone operators based on real individuals she grew up with. Her act was human and humorous. Still, club owners were surprised. Lily continued with this style of humor despite audience displeasure. She reached a ceiling in 1965. She couldn't proceed in Detroit. She left for NYC with less than $200. In the East Village, she rented a modest 5th-floor flat for $60 a month. She survived by waitressing at Howard Johnson's. Budget was tight. Some days she lived on coffee and bagel. She walked everywhere since subway fare was expensive. She auditioned whenever she could. The response was usually no. In 1965 to 1966, she performed anywhere she could. The Improv, Café Au Go-Go. She performed to 10 people in small, smoky clubs. Even in early sets, characters were developing. Snarky phone operator Ernestine, Edith Ann, the 5-year-old wit. Her style confused club proprietors. She was urged to be more normal, tell romance jokes, dress sexier, and smile more. Lily didn't listen when an agent suggested she locate a husband to get job. She continued her act, even if it meant earning 40% less than other woman comics. Hard industry expectations. Dating, wait, and love unluck were typical 1960s female comedians' jokes. That didn't interest Lily. She didn't want to be another gorgeous chick making jokes. Becoming her characters was her goal. They were males sometimes. They sometimes were kids. They always existed. That frightened industry. Nobody knew where to put her. Things changed in 1966. The Gary Moore Show featured her. TV gave her her first spotlight. Her raw skill jumped out. She played a role so authentic you felt like you knew them forever. She meant more than jokes. She became people, and industry observers noticed. She appeared on The Gary Moore Show shortly after. 1966 to 67 season. Not a long-term hit, but life-changing for Lily. She finally got paid for her passion. Her jokes were unique. She danced with taps on her bare feet once. That bizarre moment encapsulated her quirky, innovative, and unmistakable style. Working with TV star Gary Moore boosted her credibility. Producers saw she was more than a stand-up comedian. She was a versatile artist. Stand-up in New York's comedy clubs kept her sharp between engagements. Café Au Go-Go and the improvisation were her creative spaces. She took the subway from the Lower East Side, rented a $10 limo to make a grand entrance, and entered clubs in thrift shop glamour with faux white fur. This wasn't about wealth. Attention was demanded. She worked at Howard Johnson's during the day, declaring herself as waitress of the week over the intercom, making routine moments funny. Lily was always performing, watching, and creating her next persona. However, she started shouting no as she climbed the ladder. She declined well-paid parts that confined her to outdated female stereotypes. She refused to portray the stupid blonde, nagging wife, or seductive sidekick. She grew up watching comedians like Gene Carroll, who offered crisp, non-pandering jokes. Lily wanted it too. She did more than comedy. She declared. She wanted to play real, meaningful characters. In 1969, her career nearly soured. She auditioned for Music Scene and Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In simultaneously. Music Scene seemed like a better bet. After the show failed, she returned to Laugh-In, which was already a hit. In December of that year, she joined, dubious of her impact. Producer George Schletter liked her audition. Others told one-liners, but not her. She played real-life characters. That got her in. Next came Ernestine. Nobody anticipated a disgruntled telephone operator to take over the event, but Lily's snort, pinched face, and biting sarcasm wowed listeners. The culture adopted one or two ringy dingies overnight. She mocked and dragged the phone provider. "Will you be home April to November?" Smirking, she asked, mocking people's powerlessness against the monopoly. The snort was unplanned. Lily stated it happened spontaneously because she tightened her body so hard. People started asking her to do the voice when they went grocery shopping. At 5.5 years old, Edith Ann sat in an overstuffed rocking chair and taught life lessons with a raspberry ending. It's true. It was replicated by kids. Parents loved, but Edith N. more than a youngster. She had a dysfunctional home, a dog named Buster, and a crush on Junior. She was humorous, yet expressed things adults were reluctant to say. She stuck because of that. In the 1990s, Tomlin brought her back for animated specials and a book with her longtime collaborator, Jane Wagner. She was famed for her personalities, but behind the scenes was a mess. Laugh-In sucked. Scriptwriters rushed to finish. Lily tried to keep her characters from getting watered down as costumes changed constantly. After George Schlatter left in 1972, the show lost its edge. Producers wanted safer gags. Lily resisted. Things were so bad by 1973 that she sued NBC to break her contract. Ernestine and Edith Ann weren't jokes to her. They existed. "Think my characters aren't real?" She said they're out there. "I copy them." The industry appreciated her, but didn't always know how to use her. For Ernestine to appear in their advertising, AT&T paid her $500,000, a fortune in 1970. It's over $3.7 million today. She declined. Not Lily. Ernestine declined. No way would the character work for the parodied corporation. Lily took it seriously. For a phony ad, she brought Ernestine back on Saturday Night Live years later. "Don't care. No need. We're phone company." She may have cashed. Instead, she overdid the satire. Lily Tomlin surprised everyone in March 1971. The comedy CD This Is a Recording altered everything for her. Just her. Portraying Ernestine, the caustic phone operator with the famous snort, and the line, "One ringy dingy." She recorded it live at Pasadena's Ice House. People craved it. This album reached number 15 on the Billboard Hot 200. No solo female comic had reached that point, and no one would for 40 years. Not only was that CD amusing, smart, bright, and fearless, Ernestine called Joan Crawford, J. Edgar Hoover, and Gore Vidal, mispronounced Mr. Vidal, and roasted them. A year later, Tomlin won Best Comedy Recording Grammy, the first woman to win that honor alone. Only Elaine May and Mike Nichols had won before her. By 2024, the Library of Congress confirmed it. The album was saved in the National Recording Registry for cultural and historical significance. 2 years later, in March 1973, she debuted her crazy characters in Lily, her first solo special. On CBS, it was different from other series. Simple, character-driven comedy without music. She called General Motors as Ernestine again. She brought Edith Ann, the 5-year-old troublemaker, and she introduced Bobby Janine, a lounge organist with lousy advice and phony charm. Richard Pryor attended. He and Tomlin's stylish lady got stranded in an elevator in one sketch. It was odd and fantastic. Special was popular. Tomlin won 1974 Emmys for writing and the show. CBS quickly released another Alan Alda special that year, which won another Emmy. She continued her ABC specials, proving she wasn't just funny, but unstoppable. Nashville followed. Tomlin left TV for movies in 1975, a significant risk. Robert Altman cast her despite her lack of film experience. She played Linnea Reese, gospel singer and mother of 2 deaf kids. The character had a quiet affair with a country singer. Deep, subtle, real, wild Altman style. 24 protagonists, overlapping scenes, live music, no plot. Tomlin fit right in. She used her theater and TV character-building experience. Critics adored Nashville when it opened that summer. The film was classic. Later entered the National Film Registry. It was Altman's best and Tomlin's breakthrough. Not only did her Nashville performance excite reviewers, it garnered her a 1976 Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress. That's rare for a film novice. She also impressed the National Society of Film Critics and New York Film Critics Circle. Her BAFTA nomination was Most Promising Newcomer. Best Supporting Actress and New Star of the Year were her Golden Globe nominations. Nashville received 5 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. I'm Easy, Keith Carradine's song while wooing Tomlin, won an Oscar. Her success wasn't random. It launched a serious acting career. She leapt again with The Late Show in 1977. She played Margot, a distinct character than Linnea. She was eccentric, humorous, and complex. Her acting in the noir comedy was sharp and solid. She gained international respect after winning the Berlin Film Festival Silver Bear for Best Actress. From beginner to Best Leading Actress, BAFTA elevated her. She received her 3rd Golden Globe nomination in 2 years. In the same year, she went from TV sketch comedy to acclaimed film star. Later, she starred in 9 to 5, All of Me and Grandma, an indie success that earned her another Golden Globe at 76. However, something personal had silently changed everything behind the scenes. She watched Jane Wagner's JT in March 1971. The same month she released This Is a Recording. Story stuck with her. Peabody awarded. After being impressed, Tomlin had a buddy introduce them. Lily was shocked when Jane entered her hotel room. Tomlin stated years later, I fell in love with her in 2 minutes. Jane wore hot trousers, knee-high boots, and a little backpack. Lily had to depart for Chicago employment, but the connection was fast. Their first date was in New York after she returned. Before writing, Jane studied art and design, toured theater, and worked for Kimberly Clark. They shared a creative spirit and worldview. Lily claimed she can articulate and I can physicalize. Over 50 years of artistic collaboration began with that friendship. Indeed, they collaborated on Tomlin's second comedy CD soon after. It was released in 1972 and recorded in the Ice House again. Tomlin played 5-and-a-half-year-old Edith Ann. Edith told stories about her neighbor, school, toes, and everything. Writing was done by Jane. Jim Abel, Chet Dowling, and Betty Baird also contributed. The album reached number 41 on Billboard and received another Grammy nomination. At the time, it was the 3rd-ranked female comedy CD. Every side of the record was 20 minutes of Edith Ann madness. It was amusing and brilliant, cementing their partnership. By 1975, Tomlin was famous. The same year, Time magazine offered her the cover, but with a catch. They advised her to come out as lesbian to succeed. Tomlin told her publicist she wouldn't play their game. In 1975, being out might ruin a career. Wagner and Tomlin lived with each other secretly. She wanted to avoid sexuality headlines. She then indicated she wanted praise for her performance. She feared her Southern religious mother would react. She said she would have died. 2 years later, Tomlin was on Time's 1977 cover.